guys, Nyxarity here, coming to you right after LARP. Yay. So today was battle day, which is why I'm in a warm tunic, because it was raining and I wanted to be warm. But, battle day was a lot more fun than I anticipated. Oh, I was really afraid that it was just going to be a load of people just kind of whacking each other. There wasn't going to be a whole lot of, I don't know, what's the word? Words don't work after LARP. I was afraid there wasn't going to be a lot of structure to the battles. It was just going to be, alright, everybody ready? Okay, just beat the crap out of each other. If you die, respawn later, whatever. But it was cool because we actually had a little bit of an adventure type thing where, me and Eris and her husband were all hired by the Explorers Guild to help them explore more of the map. And so we ended up fighting 2 werewolves because there were 12 of us against 2 werewolves. Eris and I don't think her husband either, were actually able to get into the fight. But we won. And then after that, we got to break off into 2 teams and just kind of battle each other. And it was great because, you know, everybody was like headlong in and I was going, but there are people running around the sides and I don't want to get back hit. And every time I died, I got back hit. So, irony! Yeah. It's kind of funny. But yeah, and I was also very afraid that, you know, hitting full strength or whatever was gonna hurt a lot. And, I mean, yeah, it stings upon first impact, but after that it was like, oh, why was I worried? You know? But Saturday, Eris and I got to learn some Viking training, so we learned shield and sword, and I found out I'm a really good shield basher, but the sword that I had, or the shield that I had was like, big, which didn't protect a whole lot of anything, so I was very confused as to how to use my shield. And I was very confused as to what the rules specifically were about shield bashing, because I'm a really good shield basher, I found out. But when you don't know the rules and you're afraid of hurting people because you know you're a really good shield basher, your skills kind of... But yeah. And it was also very, 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 very muddy, so it was really hard to keep footing. So I feel like I could actually be a really good fighter. But getting a foothold is the key to that. So yeah, there were battles. And then I got really winded because I'm still not in the best of shape. So I went and I sat out and I watched, and oh my god, Eris's husband had a blast. He was like a freaking kid on Christmas. Which was hilarious because we drug him kicking and screaming to the car. Almost literally. Because he didn't want to go. He wanted to sleep or game or something. And, you know, leaving, it was almost one of those, like, time to go. And he was, oh. But, yeah. So, that was lots of fun. Just goes to show you, if you don't, you know if you're gonna like LARP, you can't knock it till you try it. Because you might have more fun than you think. Also really sorry, I wanted to get footage really badly of me fighting. Not that I did a whole lot of actual fighting, I did a lot of hide behind my shield. Sorry, I'll get better. But I didn't have a camera guy, because they were afraid of getting out in the rain and they were really tired, so, oh well. But I will try and get footage for you guys eventually in the future. Maybe when the weather gets better, because that, I think, would be really awesome for people to see some just actual fights. But yeah. Battle days, more fun than you think. Even if you're kind of more into the LARP for the role-playing aspect, which... on battle days, there is a lot less of. It's a lot more just, are you ready? Alright, go fight. Which is a lot more fun than I thought it would be, because I thought I was going to be really heavily into the roleplay side. Not so much necessarily into the battle, because I'm usually an archer, so I'm usually like way back on the back lines. But bows are expensive. Especially getting something that's going to actually stand up to LARPing. So, I'll have to look more into that, but, I'm thinking about possibly being a magic user now, because foam and fabric is a lot easier to work with for price. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. Guys, I think I might actually be able to afford Beacoline. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I finally talked to the recruiter planner guy? Not entirely sure what his actual title is in that role. But the guy that does all the interviews, make sure that everybody's set up. Talked to him, found out prices. Can't afford that in my budget. It was actually slightly more inexpensive than I thought it was going to be. So, yes! Which means that I will actually be able to save up for LARP gear. Yes. Because that's just a teensy bit expensive. And so I just have to worry about my wardrobe getting underway, which if you've been on Instagram, you've seen my kind of ideas for character inspiration. Yeah. I will be posting more of those on Instagram if you guys want to follow me and check those out. I will be making my own shield because shields are expensive and not actually that difficult to make. As I found out from the guy that taught Eris and I how to Viking LARP. Or not LARP, just Viking fight. Because they don't really LARP. It's just kind of full-on battle. You immerse yourself into the culture and you read up on how they fought and you wear period-accurate clothing down to your shoes and your socks. But the guy figured out he needed to sacrifice a little bit of authenticity for some tread because flat leather shoes, you go whoosh, no matter how dry the ground is. Just being honest. That or the leather gets all torn up and then what's the use of the shoe? But yeah. So if you guys want to see tutorials on any of my costumes that I'm making as I make them, I will probably be starting those in a month or two. I would be more than happy to do some minor tutorials. They won't be very film heavy because a lot of it is just me sitting in front of a sewing machine. But I'm more than happy to show you patterns and cutting out and any hand sewing that I do, so like buttonholes, or possibly if I do a corset, do my embroidered eyelets, because I want to do that and be kind of period accurate, because I'm a dork, and I like being a dork. Yay, dorks! Dorks is cool. So, tutorials, if you guys want them, go ahead and leave a comment or message me, or spam me on social media. I'll see it eventually. I'm really bad about being on social media, I'm so sorry. But yeah, and if you guys want to see the shield, I can film most of that. As long as I can actually get a tripod and everything set up while I'm actually working on it. Because as you'll see in the Yarny plushie tutorial that I'm posting up later this week, I was really bad about staying in front of the camera unless I was just filming. This is what I did. And, you know, talking about the steps that I took to get to that point. So, yeah. I'm bad at tutorials. I'll get better. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Also, I might be doing some interviews with other LARPers, if they're okay with that, to talk about Dargarth, the LARP that I'm in, because a lot of other people have been doing it a lot longer than I have, and they've got a lot more insight onto what generally happens at events. The last two events that I went to were on Super Bowl Sunday, and today it was really, really rainy, so a lot of people, I guess, didn't show up today because it was raining. And then, obviously, last time because Super Bowl Sunday. Because Super Bowl Sunday, whatever. I don't know. I'm not a football fan. But, yeah. So, possibly battles for next LARP. If you want to see those, I will try my best to get them to you. And possibly some interviews so that more experienced people can tell you about the awesomeness that is LARP. And I might even look into some other LARPs so that I have a more broad range to understand the depth and the different kinds of LARPs. Because I know that there's some that are like very heavily focused on roleplay where it's almost no battle, if any battle at all. And then there's others like Dargarth that are very battle oriented, and the characters and whatnot kind of happen more online and not necessarily so much in-game from what I've understood. If somebody from Dark Earth watches this and I am very wrong, please feel free to correct me. I am by no means an expert. Everything I say is my opinion, or my knowledge, which is very limited. But I'm learning. Yeah. So, that's gonna have to go and do it for this episode, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and leave a like, or a comment, or whatever. Subscribe would be awesome. Thank you guys again. This is Nyxarity signing off. See you guys next time. Bye.